Now, when it comes to Sakura Haruno, for the most part, up until recently, I've been, for the most part, indifferent. Maybe slightly you could say that I haven't been impressed with her, but for the most part I was just like, whatever, it's Sakura, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, you know, whatever, fuck it. I didn't really have that much of a dislike towards her. It was like, yeah, she's not all that great of a character, but whatever. But recent events in the manga with Naruto chapter 676 just made the scales go from like, you know, slightly this to like this regarding my dislike for the character and just overall me being disappointed with where the character has gone ultimately with where she's at right now. And that's mainly the fact that we are 676 chapters, almost 700. We're 20-something chapters, 24 chapters shy of 700 as of the recording of this video. And some of the things that Sakura is doing, really, as I've stated in my review, stuff that she did in the very beginning of the manga, stuff that was like, okay, you know, you can forgive her, she's an upcoming shinobi, she hasn't been that around, you know, she hasn't been around that long in order to say, well, you know, you're fucking up and stuff like that, so you can forgive those mistakes and things that she's doing in her character and say, well, she'll grow. We're almost 700 chapters in, and this is the finale of Naruto, you know, this is the final arc, Kishimoto said, is ending soon, etc., etc., and she's doing some of those same things that she did early on, and that's what really, this chapter, 676, was the point where I was just like, at this point, this character is not happening. It's just not happening to the point where she's going to get that moment of development that will just make me feel like, fuck yeah, you know. What I'm talking about is basically where Sakura charges in, gets her ass kicked by Madara, and stands on the sideline wondering if Sasuke cares or not. So many things was wrong with that, and the fact that, first of all, they were talking about teamwork. Kakashi was like, yes, we gotta do teamwork, Naruto, Sasuke, let's work together. And she's like, let me burst out, like, you know, it's just, without even doing anything, it's like, I'm gonna create a diversion. So, she's not using teamwork, not listening, which were, again, how far are we to not be doing, you know, not listen and whatnot. But it was fine, and in all honesty, really, is she going to take on Madara by herself and win? Obviously not. You know, her main objective at that point in her mind was, let me create a diversion, but all she did was mess things up for Naruto and Sasuke, and they had to go rescue her, even though she was like, I'm not going to wait for them to rescue me anymore. So, her whole logic was flawed in what she did, because it came out really bad and backfired on her. But then also, having those same feelings for a man that tried to kill her, we're to the point where she should not be at all in the mind frame that she is. Now, people want to say, you know, true love, this and that. Let's be real here. If this was the real world, because people like to bring in real world comparisons, somebody that for 2 years has been harboring a crush over superficial reasons because, what, she thought he looked cute or something? Like, and that's gonna get her to the point where even when he tried to kill her, he's become a rogue shinobi. He never showed any affection towards her. I think the most he ever showed was like saving her once or twice, which he showed that amount to Naruto. So there's no real ever emotion coming from him, and this is 2 years in the making. At this point, with everything that they've been through, she should not be thinking about that, especially we're in a war right now. There's a guy that has the powers of a god in front of you. You should not be thinking if Sasuke's senpai has noticed you, because he didn't, and he's never going to notice you. You got to understand that Sakura will never be Uchiha Sakura. It's never going to happen, unless maybe like Obito, you know, she cosplays as Rin for Obito. It's never going to happen. Madara, he thinks weakness is ugly. Sakura's pretty fucking weak in terms of where he's at right now. He's not going for her. Sasuke's never giving that attention. It's never happening. She needs to get that through her head. And the problem with that is, we're so far along into the story that, you know, we're almost at the end, and she's still doing these things that she should not be doing. And I look at characters again, like I made this comparison where Ino, the character, has, for the most part, moved on. Maybe she still has that little, you know, oh, he looks cute, he's attractive, or whatever, stuff like that. But she isn't harping on it. She's putting in her work. You know, she did everything that she's done in this war. She's done a couple of different big things, I would say. And Sakura is just like, it's almost as if she's day one Sakura. Like, aside from the powers, because at the end of the day, everyone has gotten powered up. Naruto, Sasuke, everyone is a lot stronger than what they were. But as far as, like, as a character and where she's come, she's making rookie mistakes, trying to impress people, trying to say, yeah, I'm not going to wait on them. The whole thing about being a team is teamwork. If you're going to create a diversion, then work with the team to create the diversion. Don't just jump in there and then think about Sasuke at the end. And that's where I felt as though, with this week's chapter, it made me feel like, yeah, there's almost no hope. Unless a miracle happens at this point, Sakura is going to be like this for the rest of the series until the end. And it almost makes me wonder why Kishimoto would do that. Like, okay, fair enough. Even if you want to make it look like she made a mistake and ran up and got beat up again, I was not expecting her to do much against Mamoru Uchiha, the god. I was not expecting it. But for her to then afterwards still be thinking about Sasuke on a battlefield with murder, death, all sorts of shit going on right now is not the time. People love to say that, yeah, well, you know, you like to defend Hinata, and you know, you'll say Hinata. At the end of the day, Hinata, at the very least, has developed from the point where she was. The shy shit, she went up there and held Naruto's hand. And I don't like to do the Naruhina, Narusaku bullshit, whatever. I don't really give a fuck at this point. If Naruto ends up with Madara, I don't care, whatever. The fact of the matter is, she has developed from point A to point B. She's no longer shy. She went and held his hand. She jumped into battles. With her doing something similar to what Sakura did, she had no chance against Pain. And Sakura went up against Madara. She had no chance against Madara. But the fact of the matter is, she had teamwork. She could have done something. Hinata had nothing. Naruto was on the floor when he was fighting Pain. And she was like, this is the only thing I can do. Let me at least try. She didn't have a team to work with and say, let me do some teamwork. Sakura did. So therefore, Hinata throwing herself at Pain is because she had no other choice. It was like, what else can I do? I need to save this person. So she has gone from point A to point B. She's no longer hiding. She's showing her feelings outright. She's doing what it does. Whether Naruto reciprocates those feelings to her is neither here nor there. The character has developed. Sakura is still making the same mistakes and doing the same things that she's done in the very beginning. Power-wise, progression as far as that goes, I'm not going to take that away. Sakura's strong as shit. I would love to see her go up against some decent, powerful shinobi, not the ones that are like Madara god level, because she would own them. She would own the shit out of them, especially, you know, the new techniques that she's got, the same shit that Tsunade has on her forehead. She has gotten incredibly stronger from what she was. So I'm not going to take that away from her. But as far as a character, making rookie mistakes, not listening, doing teamwork, and then thinking about Sasuke still in the midst of all this, it boggles my mind why Kishimoto would do this. So that's mainly where my dislikes for her and where it went from I was pretty much for the most part neutral, slightly I was just already getting a little bit to the point where I'm like, I can't take this anymore. The manga's almost over and she still hasn't gotten over these humps, these hurdles. And it's like, unless we get another time skip and then maybe something will happen, I don't see it changing it. And that's really what made me feel a little bit like frustrated. And again, you know, if you like Sakura, you know, that's up to you. I have no problem with somebody liking Sakura or whatever. That's your opinion. But let me know if you think Sakura is a great character and she's developed. I want to know why. I just simply want to know why. Give me your reasons why you think Sakura is a great character or a good character. What has she developed aside from her powers, aside from the diamond on her forehead and her muscles? Tell me what has she developed from point A to point B. I would love to see some discussion about this. Again, this is my personal distaste for the character. I feel as though she just hasn't developed since the very beginning as far as a character and getting over some of these hurdles. And that's where my frustration comes in. You can like her, but tell me what is it about Sakura that makes her appealing at this point to you? Because as far as I'm concerned, out of all of Team 7, Naruto, he's got over many different hurdles. Sasuke, he's always just been like this gray area. You don't know what he's thinking. He's changed a lot, quite a bit from what he was because of, you know, his goals has changed and everything. But there's development in there as well. Kakashi, he's been through fucking hell and back. Never going to take anything away from him. She is clearly the weak link of it all. And it just, again, with the latest chapter, still thinking about Sasuke. That's what made me just, like, puzzled. A childhood crush based on superficial, I like the way he looks, should not be expanded to the point where 2 years later, in the midst of a life or death battle for control of the world, she's thinking about if he noticed her or not, if he cared. And the thing, you know, if you want to even go to the pairing situation, the thing is, you know, I guess in a sense it's the whole real world aspect you could throw it in there in a sense that you got Naruto, he's there like, Sakura, are you alright? And Sasuke is just like, yeah, you know, he saved her, but it's like, he don't really give a fuck. And she's not showing him, you know, any affection or anything like that. She's like, I'm fine, Baka, you know, but she's still thinking, and that's, of course, that's a real world aspect. I will give it that, yeah, it's a stupid decision on her part, but sometimes the people that are giving you the affection are not the people that you want the other one. So that is a real world aspect right there, which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. And ultimately, that's why I dislike Sakura. I just feel like she hasn't developed at all as far as a character goes. But again, what do you guys think? If you like Sakura, if you hate her, if you think that she hasn't developed or she has developed, tell me why. Let's get some interesting discussion going. No fan wars, please, because we do not need that. Just give us some legitimate reasoning behind what you have to say. Don't just say hashtag Sakura is a worthless piece piece of shit. She's not good enough to be under Madara's boot. I really just wanted to drop this one and give my honest opinions on the character Sakura, because with the latest chapter, it just frustrated me, you know, to no end. Because, like, you take a series like Fairy Tail, so much shit that it gets, right? One of the female characters that people give so much shit, pretty much, they always say, like, Sakura and Lucy, two worthless characters. She just had one of the best moments in the series. And Fairy Tail's like, what, half the size of Naruto as far as chapters go? And I'm just like, I want Sakura to have that moment. I want Sakura to get that point where she's just like, you know, Sasuke, I don't give a fuck about you anymore. And just being more of a team player and not thinking about impressing anyone. Just being a shinobi. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say, or you enjoyed the video, you got something out of it, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.